So we did get another Halloween Horror Nights house announcement this week, but that doesn't mean there wasn't anything going on, because there certainly is. And inside the park, there are brand new clues about the future of the tribute store. And according to the latest spec map, there are rumors of a fan favorite icon making its return this year. So we're gonna head inside Universal Studios and talk about all of it. And before we even go inside and talk about HHN, just wanted to give you an update on the Fast and the Furious coaster. It has officially gone vertical. We always knew that this coaster was gonna come out kind of into City Walk a little bit, but now you can kind of get a sense of just how much track exposure we're gonna be seeing and just how far this actually does come out. All right, we're making a beeline for New York, but I'll give you a little clue about that fan favorite character that might be coming back that I mentioned. He used to hang out right around here. So over here in front of the Music Plaza stage, looks like there's a new photo op for the Minions and Monsters movie that comes out July 1st. Let's see on the other side. Oh, look at this guy. He's got all million different eyeballs over here. And you got one of the Minions just looking up at him like, what the heck? All right, quick little concrete wall update. The walls are completely down. It looks like all the work that they were doing over here is done. Looks good, nice and freshly paved. They did have to move the movie parade back a couple of weeks to account for this, but it is back on schedule. And I came over here to New York first because, like I said, there was no official announcement of anything new that was confirmed this week. Hopefully next week we'll get something, but what's over here in New York is as close to as an official confirmation for something that I think a lot of you are gonna be really, really excited about, and you should be. So inside of Boris's window, next to the little popcorn that was there before with the clown, we have a new poster that is surfaced, and it's kind of ripped up, but there's some cool things on there if you take a look at it. It says, "See these and many more, only at the Sideshow Obscura." And it does have Madame Basil up there as well. And if you don't know who Madame Basil is, she is the psychic that has the window underneath Boris's office. We also saw her pop up in the tribute store, her cart, when it was the Oddfellow year. Now where it gets interesting, it says New York City, 1208 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York. Now 1208 Fifth Avenue is the address of the Mummy Extended Queue. So this is all but confirming that the tribute store is coming back to the Mummy Extended Queue. And this is a really big deal because if you remember just a few videos ago, we were talking about the possibility of one, no tribute store at all. There was rumblings that they weren't even gonna do a tribute store on the 35th anniversary, which is just absolutely crazy. And then the other rumor was if they were gonna do a tribute store, it was gonna be back in the arcade again, like it was last year, and that just was not a good spot at all. We talked about that already, I'm not gonna rehash that, but this essentially confirms that the tribute store is going back to where it should be. And why is this a big deal? It's a big deal because us, other content creators, fans, pass holders, we all send emails into Universal letting them know how much we love the tribute store in that location and how much we don't want it inside of the arcade. And it looks like the emails and all the notes that people sent in actually resonated. Like, we actually made this happen. It's pretty wild to think that, content creators and the fans kind of banded together and went to Universal and gave them feedback on what we want and what we don't want, and they actually listened to us because, like I said, it was pretty heavily rumored that there wasn't even gonna be a tribute store, let alone one in the Palace Arcade. So the fact that, one, we're getting it, two, it's gonna be in the location that everybody wants, is a huge, huge win. It feels kind of cool to be part of a bigger initiative and actually force some change inside of a theme park. And that's what makes Universal really cool. They listen to what the fans want. And like I said, Madame Basil is right underneath Boris Schuster's window over here in the New York section of the park. And there's a new little flyer that's popped up over on her desk. It says, "Fortunes by the Mystic, Madame Basil, psychic readings, wise words summoned to you by the cosmos, your fortune told only by your own hand. Let Madame Basil guide you, trust the stars." And then we actually got an image of Madame Basil right there in the middle. Part of me wants to say that the tribute store is definitely that Sideshow Obscura type thing, and I'm sure there'll be elements to it, but part of me also wonders if that's gonna overall tie into the New York Scare Zone, which is rumored to be that open-ended clown scare zone. Is it Killer Clowns? Is it Terrifier? Is it original clowns, part of Jack's gang? We're all trying to figure out the answer to that question. but I also wonder if Madame Basil is going to be surfaced as like an actual character inside of that scare zone. So that'll be something that we need to keep our eye on once the event actually starts, is are we actually going to see Madame Basil in the flesh, kind of like how we saw the cat lady brought to life from the Slaughter Cinema House into her own scare zone. I'm curious if she's going to be part of like the sideshow that's going on in New York. And speaking of 1208 Fifth Avenue, here it is. The address corresponds with what was in the window, so this all but confirms the tribute store is going to be over here. Also wanted to point out that these construction walls came down too. Looks like they were doing a whole bunch of concrete work over here. We still have these ones that are up for the Fast and the Furious construction, but this is wide open now. And something else that's wide open is the exit area too. And I know a lot of doubters of people who didn't think the tribute store was going to come over here were saying the flow is not going to be good and whatnot. But like I said, there's a lot more space over here now. You just have these walls that are up at the moment, and you can easily get in and out. So like I said, it's not 100% like officially confirmed, but if you put two and two together, you can kind of figure it out. So it looks like the tribute store is going back to its rightful location, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. And like I said, this is a huge win for the fans, because honestly, without everybody sending in their opinions and letting Universal know what they think, this might not have actually happened. We're gonna go over the latest spec map in just a second, but as I'm walking through San Francisco, look at the side of Richter's Burger Company. It has a total Jaws overlay for the summer. So let's check out what's going on over and inside of Richter's for Jaws. So they have a new photo op for this year where you can actually step inside of this one. And it looks a little bit bigger than the one that they had last year too. They also moved it, so this is like right at the entrance to San Francisco. So they got this giant Amity Island photo op. And then this is awesome. They have the entire Richter's Burger Company building wrapped up. They have like Jaws skins on it. This is really cool. Honestly, after seeing this, I kind of feel like they should just turn this into a Jaws restaurant full time. This is really cool. They have all different like little movie posters out here on the barrels, different styles. You have like a cartoony version. You got another one over here. It's like all different takes on the Jaws poster, the famous Jaws poster. This one's cool. I think this one might be my favorite. Then we got Chief Brody's car out in front, the Amity Police Department. Another one where you could get your photo taken with it. This looks really cool. This is like in great shape. Obviously they refurbished this from somewhere. But yeah, here is Chief Brody's car. Check this out. In the back, they have the no swimming signs over there in the back of the car. That's a really cool Easter egg. There's another photo op that's new for this year. You can kind of stand directly in front of the Orca. They still have the one from last year with Bruce where you're kind of driving the boat, but they added a second one over here. And then they also have a photo op with the Amity Boat Tour sign. There's more things inside of the little candy shop over here. This is where a lot of the Jaws merch is. Look at the giant shark mouth. It's really cool. They, like I said, they definitely plussed this up versus what they did last year, and they did a great job. All right, so found a little spot here over in San Francisco. Now let's talk about the new speculation map. Now, I will say, not the most exciting speculation map because not a whole lot really changed on it. They moved some of the locations around, but for the most part, the houses that were rumored are the same houses that have been rumored since the beginning. So we'll do our usual walk around the park. We'll kind of do it rapid fire style just because, like I said, there's not a lot of changes. First, at Soundstage 22 is Jack and Oddfellow, Chaos and Control. We already know that. They confirmed it. Next door is the Burning Book. Rumors are still pointing towards Evil Dead Burn, and that's kind of what I'm going with. Next door in the same spot as it was before is the Upside Down Clock, heavily rumored to be Stranger Things. And then next door we have like that zoo cage type of thing on it. This is going to be an original. We still really don't know exactly what this is going to be, but a lot of people were thinking it might have to actually do with Cary, Ohio, and be like a zoo within Cary. That could be pretty cool. And then next door is the Rock Fist for the heavily rumored Ozzy Osbourne house. Now, on the other previous versions, and I think one of you guys in the comments on a video said it's actually the ASL for I Love You. And on this map, they tucked the thumb in. So it's the proper, Rock Fist for Ozzy. Over in the Fast and the Furious tent, that has stayed the exact same. That's still rumored to be HR Blood and Guts. And then the houses on the other side of the park in the tents, we still have the pins with the cushion for Pinhead Hellraiser, Sinners, which has of course already been announced. And then one of the changes that was on here was the icon that had like the lipstick with it used to have like a little biohazard logo, like, and a lot of people, myself included, thought that house would have some sort of tie to BuzzCon, whether it's like a BuzzCon vanity ball thing. But now, instead of that, there's like a DNA strand with the lipstick. So I'm curious what they do there. And then over in tent 1 is still the alien with the cowboy hat. So not a lot of changes on the houses, like I said. As far as the scare zones, the 35-year scare zone has now kind of combined with the tent. So the tent was like the entrance scare zone, and then 35 years was over in Hollywood. Now in Hollywood, there's a clock with a flame on top of it. And something that I kind of am leaning towards is the caretaker and Cindy, his daughter. The icons fit both of those characters, so maybe we'll get like a full-fledged caretaker and Cindy scare zone, which would be pretty cool, and a place where a lot of the icons can actually live within. Unfortunately, the banana is still on the map, and as more time goes on, it still looks like we're going to be getting Fort Nightmares. So that is what it is. I already said what I think about that. But the other scare zone is the killer clowns, or not killer clowns, what people think may be the killer clowns, but the clown scare zone in New York. It'll be interesting to see, is it, like I said in the beginning, killer? Is it Terrifier? Is it a mix? Is it originals? We're kind of just have to wait and see. And now there's something on this map that I teased in the beginning of the video. The return of a fan favorite icon. Now over in Club Horror, if you look closely, next to the little DJ symbol, it's the Pumpkin Lord. And according to this spec map, there's rumors that the Pumpkin Lord might be back at HHN 35. To be honest with you, I didn't think we were going to see him maybe until HHN 40 if they brought him back out to kind of be heavily involved there. But it looks like we might be getting like DJ Pumpkin Lord, which is kind of nuts. And I love the Pumpkin Lord, so I actually hope that is true. I hope we do get him back in some way. And if there was ever to be an icon character that's kind of whimsy enough to do something like Club Horror, it would be the Pumpkin Lord. Like, he was burping, he was farting, he was doing all sorts of things over in the front of the park a few years ago for HHN 31. So I'm curious to see if we get him back. And if we do get him back, does Lil Boo come back with that? I would love to see that. Like, Club Horror, I don't drink, so I don't spend a lot of time at the bars over there, but it is a cool place to hang out. And I've said this many times, I want a cohesive theme for Club Horror. So if they're going to kind of keep that around, it was a big hit, just theme it to something. And if it's like a Lil Boo Pumpkin Lord thing, I'd be down for that. Any chance we can get to see the Pumpkin Lord again, I will sign up for it. And before we start wrapping it up and making our way out, we are gonna pop in the 5 and Dime to check up on the merchandise. We got the Simpsons out meeting and greeting, and I'm expecting everything to still be in stock, but we'll go in and see what it's all about. Yep, and as expected, they still have everything. They got plenty of the shirts. They still have a few of the hats. They have the acrylic pieces for the carousel, so plenty of Sinner stuff still in stock. And also, if you're still looking for the Jack and Oddfellow shirt, there's plenty of those too. So like I said in the beginning of the video, no official announcement on houses or anything like that, but that doesn't mean there wasn't plenty to talk about. We had a new spec map. I'm super excited that the Pumpkin Lord's on that spec map. Like, I really hope that that comes true. Maybe more than anything else that's on that map, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed him at HHN 31. And then, of course, super excited about the tribute store. 1, definitely happening. 2, happening in New York. So there were people out there that would say it would never happen. Oh, the Fast and the Furious coaster construction, they could never do it. The walls are going to be in the way, yada, yada. Well, they actually listened to the guest feedback, and not only are we getting a tribute store, which we almost didn't get, we're getting it in the place that everybody wants it to be. So if you were someone who wrote in, sent Universal tweets, comments, emails, whatever it was, you were a part of making that happen. So shout out to you. And as always, if you guys enjoyed coming along with me for this quick trip to the park to give you guys an HHN update this week, make sure you give the video a nice big thumbs up. If you're a Halloween Horror Nights fan, if you're a Universal fan, subscribe to the channel down below so you don't miss out on all of our future videos to come. And with that being said, we'll see you guys real soon.